Welcome to Conflict News 24. First, a look at headlines. Iran, firstly, where more than a dozen Muslims were killed in an attack by gunmen on a mosque in southern Iran. Fingers are being pointed towards neighboring countries, Saudi Arabia and others. Secondly, Russia and NATO are conducting nuclear drills. Is the world on the verge of a nuclear war? Is Third World War is in the making? And thirdly, viewers, Russia-Ukraine conflict where intense fighting is ongoing in western Luhansk. Ukrainian forces have launched a major operation for the control of two major cities, major towns in western Luhansk. We have details for you. Firstly, viewers, Iran, we know that for more than a month, protests have been ongoing in Iran. People, especially women, are protesting against Iranian government, against strict laws imposed by Iranian government. The protest started after the death of a 22-year-old girl, Mahsa Amini, who died in police custody. Dozens of protesters have been killed in the ongoing crackdown on these protesters. Protests still ongoing. Iran accuses external elements of being involved in fueling conflicts in Iran. On Wednesday, in an attack on a mosque, more than a dozen innocent civilians, Muslim worshippers were killed. The incident happened in southern Iran. Shiraz is the name of the city. In Shiraz city, Shah Cheragh Mosque was attacked by three gunmen who just opened fire at the Muslims who were worshipping inside Shah Cheragh Mosque. According to Iranian news agency, 15 casualties are being confirmed. More than 40 were injured. Number of attackers, 3. 2 are in custody, 2 have been arrested. Iranian government is accusing that the attackers are not from Iran, that they are Wahhabis. Wahhabis are Muslims too. Sunni Wahhabis live across the world, but Saudi Arabia is their center. And Iran accuses Saudi Arabia of fueling tensions in Iran and vice versa. Saudi Arabia, Iran, both Muslim countries, but they represent different schools of thought. Iran represents Shia Muslim school of thought. Saudi Arabia represents Wahhabi Sunni school of thought. Both have been fighting for years. Proxy wars, direct wars in the past as well. Both claim to be leaders of Islam, leaders of Muslims. 3 gunmen were involved, 2 arrested, and Iran says they are Takfiri Wahhabis, meaning to say that they are from neighboring countries, from Saudi Arabia, though not officially named. Iranian government did not officially name Saudi Arabia today, but fingers are being pointed towards neighboring Muslim countries, that they are involved in fueling unrest in Iran. Secondly, viewers, NATO and Russia are conducting nuclear drills. Is the world on the verge of a nuclear war? Because we know that NATO, US, they say that Russia could conduct a tactical nuclear strike on Ukraine. Russia denies. Though Russia said that it will use all options, including military option, to defend its territories, but it says that there is no plan to conduct a nuclear strike on Ukraine. We know that NATO is conducting steadfast known military drills, which are nuclear drills. NATO drills are being conducted over UK, Belgium, and the North Sea. And the drills involve land, sea, and air military assets. Those weapons, those assets are being used which are capable of nuclear strikes. And these nuclear drills of NATO will go on till the 30th of October. Russia has also started nuclear drills, and Russian drills ongoing in the Arctic Sea and in Kamchatka Peninsula of Russia. Today, Putin, Russian president, monitored these nuclear drills. Sergei Shoigu, Russian defense minister, in a statement today said that Putin today witnessed these nuclear drills being conducted in Russia. And Russia says these are retaliatory nuclear drills, that these are defensive nuclear drills. Russia has no plans to conduct any tactical nuclear strike. Both sides are sending signals to each other. NATO warning Russia that Russia must not make the mistake of conducting a nuclear strike on Ukraine. Russia showing its muscles, flexing its muscles, and saying that it has nuclear option available if NATO, if US cross some lines. Question is, which are the red lines, if crossed, could lead to Russian nuclear strike on Ukraine? I think that if NATO-backed Ukraine starts hitting main Russian cities, not border areas, cities like Moscow, like Kremlin, and other big cities, if the cities are attacked from Ukrainian territory, we could lead to a scenario. We could see a scenario with Russia using nuclear bombs. Otherwise, both sides are only flexing muscles. Putin today once again said that Ukraine was planning to use a dirty bomb and that Ukraine was trying to acquire nuclear weapons as well. So another allegation from Russia that not only is the use of a dirty bomb by Ukraine is under consideration, but also the purchase, the acquisition of nuclear weapons by Ukraine from some other countries. Take a listen to what Putin today said about Ukrainian attempt to acquire nuclear weapons.
Now, the Kiev regime wants to obtain nuclear weapons. The Kiev authorities have voiced their intentions publicly, but this has been ignored. And they're also planning to use dirty bombs for provocations. This poses a threat comparable to that posed by ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and other terrorist groups which are trying to infiltrate these various countries, carrying out covert activities. And such militants pose threats to the region.
Lastly, viewers, intense fighting is ongoing for the control of two major cities, towns you can say, in western Luhansk. Ukrainian forces are trying to enter western Luhansk and they want to capture these two main towns. And if these two main towns fall, if they came under Ukrainian control, it would be a strategic defeat for Russian forces, and Ukrainians would make rapid inroads into Luhansk. The two towns are firstly Kreminna situated to the east of Liman. Liman in northern Donetsk was taken by Ukraine more than a month ago. Then Ukraine forces tried to move towards Kreminna, towards Lysychansk, towards Severodonetsk. Kreminna is the red line where Russians are fortifying their positions, and fighting has been going on for days. Ukrainians trying to get close to Kreminna, but so far Russians are holding their positions. Same is the case in Svatove. Svatove again in western Luhansk, and from eastern Kharkiv. Ukrainian forces are trying to get close to Svatove. Svatove is again under Russian control, but deadly battles are ongoing to the west of Svatove and to the west of Kreminna. It's a very decisive phase of Ukrainian offensive on Luhansk. Ukrainian offensives succeeded in Kharkiv, in northern Donetsk, and partly in Kherson Oblast as well. Now, a decisive offensive in Luhansk is underway, but here Russians are putting up stiff resistance. Though Russians were on the offensive around 2 months ago, now they're defending. Now they're fighting to defend Svatove and Kreminna. Can Ukrainian forces take back Svatove and Kreminna? That remains to be seen. If Kreminna is lost by Russians, obviously pressure will come on Severodonetsk and Lysychansk, two major cities of Luhansk Oblast. Thank you for watching.